Right, there should be a button at the bottom that says "Start Broadcast." Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we live?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Oh, hey everybody, this is Sid Hameed. Hey, this is the first time we're doing this Google Hangout, and every day we're trying to get better at using technology and using, based on what we learn. So Google Hangout is something we've been watching and learning about for some time. So this is our first Google Hangout. I appreciate you guys coming out. And so we're going to wait till 8 o'clock. It's almost 8 o'clock. It's 7:57 right now. So we're just kind of playing around with the features and making sure that we have everything working properly. So you guys getting the behind scene of things. Getting the behind scene of things. So we are live right now. So again, this is our first one. And we do appreciate everybody coming in. We got a lot of folks on here today. And wow. Okay, this is good. So we'll give it a few more minutes and we'll get started. But thank you for joining Brickfront Properties and Sid Hameed. Also, if you haven't had a chance to Google us, Google our name, Google Brickfront Properties, Google REI-SG.com, which is our non-performing notes mortgage note business. Then we have REI-HMB.com, which is our real estate investment hard money bankers business. We lend money there in 37 states. And then EREAG, which is Expert Real Estate Advisors Group. And we're here in Bowie, Maryland. So we're licensed for Washington, D.C. and Maryland. So if you're a real estate agent and you're looking for a place to park your license and you're looking for a place to learn about wholesaling, learn about rehabbing, we're a niche company. So we're not a Long and Foster or a Remax or a Keller Williams. I mean, you could go there too, but we are real estate investment focused. So if you're looking for a house to gain knowledge and learn to become a better person, to become a CEO, to become, where you're taking control of your life, then, bring your license to us. We're licensed for DC and Maryland. And that's Expert Real Estate Advisors Group.com. All right, so it's about 8 o'clock, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So, hey, everybody, my name is Sid Hameed, Brickfront Properties and Construction. And so tonight we're doing a live session about just asking questions. So this is just a Q&A. And
there should be a button at the bottom. It says "Start Broadcast."
so let's see here. Oh, we're having some technical difficulties. So give us a second. It says I'm live here.
Yeah, we see you live, but we can't see the chat to ask questions.
Okay, so how do you do that?
Just type it.
Type right here.
Mm-hmm.
Is TEST. Okay.
Yeah, there it goes. Make sure everybody else can see it.
All right. So let me know if you guys can see the group chat on the side there. So we started to advertise this event on Tuesday. estate. The other thing people have asked about are property management questions, like should I hire a property management company to manage my asset, or should I try to manage it myself and save that 8 to 10%? So most property management companies charge 8 to 10% of the rent amount. So and then inspections. So you have if you have a rental property and you have Section 8 tenants, and then you have Section 8 inspections and stuff like that. So people have questions about those in terms of, what is expected and so forth. So we could talk about that. If you're a wholesaler and you're looking to get into the wholesale business, people want to know, well, where do I get started? There are so many people out there teaching. Hey, everybody, I think we're back. We had a little disconnect. So people want to get into the wholesaling arena and how to get started, and where do I get started from? Where do I find motivated sellers? What kind of marketing works? What kind of marketing doesn't work? And should I buy a list? Should I send out yellow letters? Should I put out bandit signs? Should I use virtual assistants? Should I look at expired listings? Should I look at withdrawn listings? Should I look at, talking to real estate agents and probate attorneys and CPA firms and bankruptcy attorneys and divorce attorneys? So these are all different ways of getting lead generation. So then other people want to talk about rehabbing. So if I choose to become a rehabber, well, what does that look like? Well, what does that mean? What is the difference between a wholesaler, a rehabber, a real estate agent, and then a real estate investor? There is no difference. There is no difference. And the thing is, if you get your real estate license and you become an agent, you have your access to the MRIS, which gives you access to the listings, and you can do CMAs, you can do comparables, you can do your market analysis, what has sold, what's active, when did it sell, how many were foreclosures, how many were renovated. So you look at all these different data points to figure out, should you even consider writing a contract on this asset. So being a wholesaler, being a rehabber, and then having your real estate license is a good thing. And so you could actually make that work for you multiple different ways and get paid as a investor real estate agent. You can get paid multiple different ways. So you should consider that the cost is nominal, but if you're in the right environment, the right circle, the right team, you can be an investor agent and make more money and have more control over your time, and not have to drive people around on the weekends, that are just window shopping. So think about that. Okay, so the other thing is people want to know, like, how do I hire a contractor? So, okay, I found a property, I wrote a contract on it, I got the money for it, I got the funding for it. Now, I got to have a contractor. How do I hire a contractor? And what does that look like? And what goes into, having a good contractor? So that goes into like being a plumber, electrician, HVAC, all these different contractors. So how do I hire a good contractor? So that's the other things a lot of people call and talk about that. Um, then the other thing is, how do I get funding? How do I get money for these properties? How do I get the money? I may have, um, I may have a asset under contract, but I don't have the funds to bring to the table. How do I get the money? And how do I work with hard money? And how to work with private money? What is the difference between private money and what is the difference between hard money? So, and the basic difference is cost. If you deal with a hard money lender, you're going to be basically paying more for your money. When you're dealing with the soft money or private money, like a family or a friend or a doctor or a dentist, something of that nature, you're going to be, providing you're going to get a better rate for your money. So there's a difference. It's going to be cheaper to deal with private than hard money. So, people want to understand how does that work, and then how do you evaluate, does the asset still make sense if I take hard money costs into the equation? So, what we do is you look at where you're buying it at, then you look at your construction cost, what's going to go into it, then you look at your closing cost when you buy the property, and then you look at your closing cost when you sell the property on your exit side of the transaction. And you take all these costs into the middle, and then you add and subtract, and you say, well, how much money is going to be left, for me as the investor? How much money is going to be left for me as the rehabber? And if right now, with the market being the way the market is, one, it's very hard to get deals out there right now, and number two, that when you do get the deals, you have to have the right people and partners in place, like hard money or private money, so you could get it closed properly. Okay, so the business model still works. It's just you just got to work harder, and you just got to do more. Hello, can you guys see me? Okay, so now the thing about wholesaling and being a rehabber, wholesaling, you can wholesale property in 10, 20, 30 days and get, what I call now money. You can get now money. So that means, with the rehab, it takes 3 months, 2 months, 6 months to get paid. So if you want to get now money, then, wholesaling is good because you could get the property, get it under contract, and then you're able to get it to a rehab or investor and get it off your books, and then make that $20,000-$30,000, maybe $10,000. Depends on the asset, and depends on the price that you got it at. Now, some people want to buy and hold. They want to buy and hold the asset, and as they want to buy and hold for long-term, cash flow, you have to consider, the cost of doing that. So there's going to be cost in doing that, and if the numbers make sense after paying everybody out, then you should consider it. But you should also look at the neighborhood. Is it inclining? Is it declining? You want to look at future cost. Also you want to look at how many Section 8 tenants are there in that neighborhood versus non-Section 8 tenants. Crime. Is the government looking to add more money? Are there any improvements? Is there a shopping center coming? Is there a metro station or store, something like that, coming into the area? So you want to look at these different things when you're buying and holding to create a portfolio. And then if you decide to do property management and you're giving somebody 8 to 10% of your monthly cost, for your monthly rent, then you got to see, well, what are you going to get for that 8 to 10% cost? Are they going to help you evict somebody if the eviction needs to be done? Are they going to help you find and advertise and show the property if the property becomes vacant? Are they going to screen all the applicants and run their credit in the background? Are you going to allow them to collect your rent? Are they going to respond to service calls? So, hey, my toilet is broken. My air conditioner doesn't work. My heat doesn't work. My roof is leaking. So all these things, who's going to do these things? And then, and then you got to look at, is it worth outsourcing, or is it worth, doing it yourself? So you look at time, value of money. What is your time really worth? So, property management can be a great tool. Now, one of the things that I've done in the past is I've used home warranty companies like American Home Shield and Home Warranty to put them on these rental properties. So then, therefore, that these rental properties can be controlled. So I give the tenant, the actual phone number and instructions on who to call, when to call, and how to call. So usually with the home warranty companies, the way it works is, you have your electrical, you have your plumbing, you have your HVAC. If you got a garage, you have your garage. Then you have your appliances, your dishwasher, your stove, your microwave, and so forth. So to take advantage and to use it properly, I will give the tenant the book, the manual, the handout manual, which talks about all these different things, the phone number and so forth like that. Then I will have the tenant coordinate, with the home warranty company, so you don't have to go out there. And then I would have the tenant pay the first $60, $75 that it costs for the people to actually come out there and to do the work. So with your lease agreement, you could put all this stipulation and stuff in the lease agreement showing, how this thing works, and the fact that they could actually get the people on there to call at any time. So then I usually get a ticket saying, hey, the property in Virginia had a leak, and there was a technician that went out, so which goes into my my file for that property. And so that's the cheapest way to really do property management. Now, sometimes the home warranty companies don't really cover everything. So, and then you have to look at that cost also. And I usually tell the tenants, if there's a plumbing issue, make one phone call and address all the plumbing issues, like if the toilet is leaking, if the faucet is leaking, if there's a leak in the basement on a pipe, call in all plumbing issues at one time. And therefore, there'll be one service call for all of those issues that you called in. So same thing with electrical. If there's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 electrical issues, like your ceiling fan's not working, your outlet is not working, let's say there's a light that went out in front of your house, your motion light, call them all in at one time, and that would be considered a one service call. So I use American Home Shields as one of the companies to manage my properties, and I have the tenant call the company and coordinate the technician. So, and I get an email in terms of what happened and did they take care of the issue and so forth. Is it open? Is it closed? And so forth. All right. So, hey, I got a question here. It says about somebody inherited money. So if somebody's got money, somebody has $100,000, $200,000, and they want to invest with Brickfront properties, how do they do that? So on our website on brickfrontproperties.com, you go to the investment section, click on the investment section. You could read under investments. We pay out people 12% on their cash, and then we protect that cash against the asset. So if we're buying 123 Main Street, and then that's the collateral, and then Mr. Jones is putting in the cash towards that collateral. We have Mr. Jones, send the funds to an escrow company, and then the escrow company does all the legalities on the paperwork, and then that investment is protected with that collateral, and then the investor's name goes on the documents and everything. And so when we sell the property, then the investor gets paid out, and then we get paid out. We've done hundreds of these deals, and we use a law firm here in Largo, Maryland. You can work with your law firm as well. So these are simple transactions. There's nothing complicated about them. They're very straightforward. Okay. Somebody asked me a question. Well, how long you been doing this? Okay. Well, so I've been in the construction industry since I was 15 years old. I started as a laborer for a guy doing brick and concrete work. And then from there, I did that for many years. And then I learned about small things like, framing and drywall and electrical and plumbing. So then I just and I've always been good with my hands. So, and then we started, as I got older, my family and we started to buy real estate. And as we bought real estate, I was the guy running the jobs and running the contractors and, dealing with the Home Depots and the Lowe's and all that stuff. So, and just made it into this has always been my passion, is to build something. And so I've been doing this, I guess, since 1989. And I've been involved in over hundreds of different transactions, from land development to single family homes and condo projects, rehabbing, doing additions, all kinds of different projects. So I have a lot of knowledge and information about the industry. You could Google my name. You could Google the company's name. We've been practicing and doing this kind of work, and teaching and showing folks on how to avoid mistakes and how to make money properly in this business. And one thing that you will run into, there are a lot of joker brokers. There's a lot of joker brokers out there. There's a lot of folks out there that go to these real clubs and these different events, and you have to basically figure out who's the real people you want to invest with and who aren't so real. So due diligence, due diligence, due diligence. Get a better understanding of your relationships and who you are, uh, you know, going to bed with, who you're working with, and that kind of stuff. All right. So again, this is our first Google Hangout. This is Sid Hameed in Brickfront Properties, and here's a question we have about our business called REI-SG, Real Estate Investment Solutions Group. Dan Moran is my business partner on that company, and myself. So we basically deal with hedge funds, and we deal with institutions directly, and we get tapes, and we get assets to look at that are non-performing. And so over the course of time, we've developed a very clean system, a very simple, organized system to do our evaluations and to look at the asset very carefully and very cautiously and pick the best ones that make sense. And we always look at multiple different ways of exit. So with the note business, there's never one way to exit. There are multiple ways to exit with the note business, and that's what I love about it. So this particular person here wants to know how to get started in the note business and what is a non-default asset? What is a non-performing asset? So non-performing asset is most cases where they have stopped paying the mortgage. So they've either abandoned the property, left the property, and basically have walked away. And there are thousands and thousands of these assets laying around in the country. So, non-performing asset is an asset that's not performing. And usually you can get them at a discount from an asset that's performing. So performing assets usually go for 60 to 70 cents on a dollar. Non-performing assets, depends on location, will go for anywhere from 20 cents to 50 cents on a dollar. Depends on location, and it depends on the size of the location. So hold on a second. I just got a note passed to me. Okay.
Click the logo.
Okay. So listen, Mr. Clint Racine, my support manager. So he said, tell people to go to the YouTube and post a comment to ask their questions. Okay. And then you could click on YouTube logo at the bottom right of the video. So if you go to the bottom of the YouTube logo on the right hand side, you could click on that, and you could go there to post a comment and ask questions and stuff. So that was Clint Racine. So sorry about that. So the non-performing assets, the mortgages. So we have been working with these hedge funds for some time now. We're getting Okay, so I think we're back. We got disconnected there for a minute. So, okay, so that was the non-performing note that we were talking about. Okay, so what we got here? Okay, somebody's asking me about a plumbing question. Okay, so right, okay, so they got they have a leak in their main sewer. Okay, got a leak. So sometimes the question is, who is responsible for the main line from your house to the street? Who's responsible to that distance? Who's responsible for that distance from the house to the curb? And the county, the county is responsible. Anything outside and the other side of the curb. So anything from the curb going back towards the house is the homeowner's responsibility. A lot of times, the home warranty companies and your owner's warranty would not cover those expenses. You have to emphasize, and that's considered extra expense. You have to get that separately. So, you may want to look into that, but usually that's a $5,000 to $10,000 expense. Depends, if there's any trees in the way, if there any bushes, how far deep you got to go, and usually it's like anywhere from 7 to 10 feet deep to get to that main sewer to replace the sewer. And the homeowner is responsible for that, not the city or the county, if it's on your side of the curb. Okay. All right. So, okay, how to become a wholesaler? Okay, the best way to become a wholesaler is to, go to google.com, and there's tremendous amount of videos on YouTube about wholesaling. There are a lot of videos and information on Google about contracts, how to negotiate contracts, how to write yellow letters, how to go to the REIOs. There's all kinds of REIO clubs, the real estate investment groups that you can go to. So, and it's networking, talking to real estate agents, building a relationship with the real estate agents. So wholesaling is just basically talking, making phone calls, being active, being present at your real estate investment clubs in your neighborhood, in your schools, in your district. So, and being online, the meetup groups and the Facebook groups, there's a lot of investment in reselling and wholesaling type groups. Be part of the chatter. So if you're active, you could definitely get deals. But now once you got a deal, what do you do now? You have to have it analyzed and have it reviewed to make sure it is a deal. So that's where, I can come in, I can help you, look at those deals and analyze those deals to let you know if it's a deal or not, so you could avoid costly mistakes. So, okay, so another question is probate. Okay, so probate. So how do you get to probate properties? How do you get to estate sales of probate? So, with the probate, you could go to the county, you could go down to the city and sit there and look at the microfiche and get the information from there directly. They have a database, and that usually gets updated at least once a week, twice a week, with new entries. So you could go down to the county and get that, create an Excel spreadsheet, and you can put in the PR's name, you could put in the lawyer's name, you could put in the address, you could put in the phone number of the attorney if it's provided. You could put in the phone number of the PR if it's provided. And some people like to send out postcards and letters to these guys. I simply like to pick up the phone and call. I like to just pick up the phone and give them a call and ask them, hey, I noticed that you're trying to sell a property in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. And I was wondering, has that property been sold? And they would normally say, well, no, the property hasn't been sold, or how did you find out about this? And, who are you? And then I said, well, that's a good question. I said, my name is Sid Hameed, and we bought a database, and it shows us all the probate listings and information. And so we were calling to see if this property in Upper Marlboro is available. So just kind of have a conversation with them. And if you tell them you are a licensed real estate agent, that does tend to help. Because if you can't get the wholesale transaction, you might be able to get the listing as a real estate agent. Hold on one second. So that's a good question. So my name is Sid Hameed, and we bought a database. And okay, so got a note here. It says, wanted to start a wholesale house. Said 2 questions. How do I start? Okay. And the second question is, do you do any coaching? If yes, where? And then how can I contact you? Well, Sid Hameed, and the phone number is 240-764-5347. So hold on, my cell phone is going off here. But our phone number is 240-764-5347. Brickfront Properties is the name of the company. Sure, I will coach and mentor the right people. I'm not looking to coach and mentor everybody. I've done this before, and I'm only looking to coach the people that want to succeed, the people that are very serious, the people that are very hungry to create wealth. I don't like to waste my time, and I don't want to waste anybody's time. If you do want to succeed and you're looking for coaching and training, then yes, we can have a private conversation and we can talk about that further. Okay, so again, the question was, I want to start a wholesaling house, and how do I get started, and do you offer coaching? So I kind of went over how do you get started already, and we did a videotape on this also earlier on how to get started. All right, so the second question is, if somebody has $200,000 to invest, and I would like to know what would be my return on this investment. Okay, so if you have $200,000, by the way, we do work with investors that have cash, but folks that have at least $100,000 minimum. So we work with people that have at least $100,000 or more. We don't work with a lot of folks that have $10,000, $20,000. It's just not cost effective for us. So if you have those kinds of funds, the proper process is, we will create a promissory deed, a promissory note. The law office will do that. The house will be used as collateral, as a security blanket, and your name will go on the deed, on the record, and it'll get recorded. So once we sell the property, then you will be brought back to the closing table. You will sign your side, and the funds will be distributed. So it's really that simple, and we usually give a 12% return annual on those funds. Okay, so all right, again, this is Sid Hameed, and it's about 8:37. This is our first Google Hangout, and we're only going to go about 45 minutes. And if you guys need to get in contact with me, just give me a call, or send us an email. And so here's a question about hard money. Do we lend more than 65%? Okay, so under our REI REI-HMB. So that's REI-HMB.com. That's our hard money division, which stands for Real Estate Investment Hardmoneybankers.com. We will lend up to 65%, and then in some cases we can go as high as 80%. And it really depends on your experience, depends on the location of the property, depends on the asset of the property, depends on do you have a team, have you done this before. And we have to get to know people, and we don't typically do that on our first transaction. But once we've done 2 or 3 transactions, we had a chance to build a rapport and a relationship, then yes, we could do joint venture partnership with you guys on those wholesale deals. I am a licensed contractor. I am also been in the home inspector position, and I know about home inspections and so forth. And we have plumbers and electricians and roofers and all that stuff. We have vans and trucks. We will only joint venture with the right people, with the right project. We're not looking to joint venture with all the transactions. So that is a possibility with us. So hopefully I answered that question about the hard money. So also, if you guys looking for mentoring coaching, and you look for somebody to guide you and walk you through to your first transaction, if it's a wholesale transaction, or you just need a project manager or a construction manager to overview and oversee the transaction, that may be a possibility. Depends on the location, depends on the project, depends on how involved you want us in that capacity. If you're just looking for somebody to help you with your contracts and your negotiations and valuation of the asset, we can help you do that. We do that for our non-performing notes. We do that for people that are looking for hard money and looking for contractors and rehabbers. If you're looking for us to help you put a team together and kind of just oversee from the beginning to the end, and we could possibly help you there as well. So our division called EREAG, Expert Real Estate Advisors Group, which is our real estate brokerage. And our real estate brokerage, we're licensed for DC and Maryland. We are a investor-friendly brokerage. If you're looking for your traditional brokerage, like a Long & Foster, or Remax, or Keller Williams, you guys could go there. If you're looking to invest and you're looking to become an investor, a rehabber, a wholesaler, you're looking to create money and wealth in real estate, well, this is all I've been doing. I don't know anything else. This is what I'm going to be doing for the next 50 years, next 20 years, God willing. But, I'm in real estate. So if you guys could learn through me and learn from me and avoid thousands of mistakes, that'll be good. So I got another question here. It says, what do I look for in a contractor? What do I look for in a contractor? Well, in a contractor, you want to basically, if you're doing the whole entire rehab, you want to break it up. So you want to have an electrical person doing electrical work. You want to have your plumber doing plumbing work. You want to have your